Well, 2025 continues to be the year of FAFO. This time we have a black man standing on business against this racist man from India. All I can say is the OGUN Spirit rose up in the black man. Check it out.
Let's get into this case of F around and find out, because he effed around and found out. Let's get into it.
Mid-flight disturbances continue to raise concern for air travelers. And this time, a violent altercation on board a Frontier Airlines flight from Philadelphia to Miami has led to the arrest of a 21-year-old Indian man from New Jersey. The incident took place on June 29th when a fight broke out between a passenger, Ishan Sharma of Newark, and fellow passenger Keanu Evans. The mobile phone footage shows the two engaged in a scuffle, grabbing each other by the neck as fellow passengers and crew members desperately tried to intervene. Brawl left Sharma with a cut above his left eyebrow and Evans with scratches on his face. Witnesses said Sharma appeared to smile and take selfies of his bloodied face after returning to his seat. Now, upon landing in Miami, sheriff's deputies boarded the aircraft and took Sharma into custody. He was first taken to Jackson West Hospital for treatment and then charged with 1 count of battery. Now, during his court appearance on Tuesday, Sharma's attorney claimed the incident began because Sharma was meditating and that Evans had taken issue with it.
My client is from a religion where he was meditating. Unfortunately, the passenger behind him did not like that.
The judge then set Sharma's bond at $500 and issued a stay-away order preventing any contact with Evans or his place of work or study.
I would like to take the time to clarify a few things. I'm getting many comments like the one above of people saying that I provoked that man during the flight. First thing first, Good Morning America, ABC News, they have the narrative wrong. That's not the truth. They didn't take the time to ask any witnesses who were close by and actually witnessed the real thing, what happened. They interviewed the 2 girls who were at the front of the flight who videotaped what happened from a distance, whose video went viral. They interviewed them. They didn't even see what happened. All they saw was the aftermath. They seen and heard commotion going on in the back, and then they start recording their phone after we're fighting. And you guys want to go with that narrative? I've been getting a lot of hate speech. I've been getting a lot of negative comments, but I'm also getting an overwhelming amount of support. And for everybody who does support and is taking the time to go down the rabbit hole and find the truth, thank you. ABC, Good Morning America, I wish you guys would reach out and actually get the true story. There's plenty of witnesses who were around me in the vicinity, and they posted their own testimony to social media, and it aligns with the story that I told WSVN and what happened. I was the one who got out of my seat and went to the restroom. I was the one who told the flight attendants about the disturbed man who was sitting behind me, because I was in the front seat and he was in the back seat, and I informed them that this man is giving me threats and he's saying things to me. Before I even got up out of my seat, I had my headphones on. I'm listening to music. I'm looking outside of the window, admiring the sunset, and I hear somebody faintly laughing behind me. I can't hear it that loud because my headphones are on, but he was laughing that loud that I could hear him faintly in my headphones. I thought it was just a normal person watching a movie on their phone, some kind of funny movie, and I paid it no mind. But the 2 young women who were sitting next to me, they kept breaking their neck to look back to see what he was laughing at and what was wrong with the guy. And after they multiple times kept looking back, it made me a little worried, so I took my headphones off and I looked at them, and they looked at me with concern about the person behind me. I turn around and I ask the guy, "Are you good?" And he starts doing that villainous laugh again. Ha 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 ha. You're nothing but a weak man, a mortal man, a puny man. Like, he's saying things like that to me, nobody else, to me. I didn't even know this guy was behind me the entire flight. I just start laughing about it because I think it's funny. I'm like, what's wrong with this crazy guy? Why is he talking to me like that? I just get up. I'm like, I go to the restroom and the flight attendants are right there. So I say, hey guys, there's a disturbed, deranged man behind me. He's giving me things like death threats and stuff like that. I'm just letting you know that, if he puts his hands on me, like, I'm gonna defend myself. I tell them that. They're like, it's okay. We basically already know about what's going on. They let me know that they were aware of him. And they told me to go back to my seat and press the button if he continues. So I do just that. I walk back to my seat. As I'm sliding back through the aisle to get to 18F, which is where I was sitting, he's jawing off at me again. Oh, you weak man. You go to the restroom and you're looking at yourself in the mirror because you're just a weak man. If you challenge me, it will lead to your death and your destruction. He's saying evil things like this to me. And as soon as he starts jawing off again, I just get up, I press the button, and I turn around and I question him. I said, yo, what's your problem? You know, I'm not with any of that demonic stuff that you have going on. And he gets up immediately. He puts his forehead on my forehead, face to face, and he grabs me with both of his hands and he starts to choke me. You guys are saying things, oh, if you're a man of God, why didn't you use your words? Why didn't you rebuke him? What would you do if you were in a confined space on an aircraft and another stranger you don't know stands up and starts to choke you? I defended myself. I did what any rational person would do. Okay? I genuinely concerned for this man, Ashan. Whatever demon, whatever situation he was going through, I pray that man gets the help that he needs, because that is not okay. When is it okay to put your hands on another human being on a flight for no reason, unprovoked? I did nothing to him. I was minding my business the entire time. I was prepared for all the racist comments and the hate speech and things like that, and honestly, it doesn't faze me. The only thing that upsets me is that these news outlets are reporting false narratives and everybody is starting to run with it and believe it. Take the time. Go to WSVN on Instagram. Go on YouTube. Go to WSVN and search the news and listen to the story. There's a young woman named Melissa who was on the flight and she was helping break up the fight. She was right there when everything happened, and she tells the entire story on her Instagram. I will tag her Instagram in the comments. Go watch it for yourself. Don't believe everything the news puts out. They just put out silly narratives without having the real truth behind the entire story. Thank you to everybody who's supported me. Thank you to everybody who's reached out to me with encouragement. You guys have been nothing but uplifting through this entire experience. Everything in my life just changed overnight, all because of this one incident. I don't condone violence. I don't condone things like that, but I also don't believe it's okay for another man to attack another man unprovoked. I don't believe in that. And I believe you have every right to defend yourself, and that's exactly what I did. You know, a lot of people want to hear more about the story and they want to know what's going on, but I'm honestly getting tired of this. Every day I've waken up and it's been more and more and more commotion and more people reaching out to me, and it's just getting overwhelming. So this is the last thing I'm just going to post about this story. I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm going to tell y'all, that video off of Frontier Airlines where that brother Keanu Evans tore that man out the frame, I ain't never been more proud to be a black man in America in my fucking life. And even on Mr. Evans, is it Keanu or Keanu? Even on Keanu or Keanu's page, Luis Rodriguez, we know he probably don't even like black people, swore that Keanu or Keanu, whatever his name is, was fucking with the man. And I just like to say to Mr. Rodriguez, who gives two fucks what you think, Mr. Rodriguez, because your homeboy got his ass tore out the frame and almost got his eye knocked out of whack. Or out the socket, as they say. Ooh, talk about a moment in time. I know so many people wish they had been on that flight with him. Y'all got to go over there and see what's going on. Mr. Evans was on his flight from Philadelphia to Miami, minding his business, and this man here, Mr. Swarmer Man, or whatever his name is, started fucking with him, doing chants behind his back or whatever he was doing in front of him and behind him. He was in close proximity to Keanu. Keanu tried his best to keep his cool, but that goddamn Swarmer motherfucker kept picking. And in the words of my Uncle Darren that passed away, you keep picking it, I'm gonna give you a licking. And that's exactly what Keanu did. He tore this motherfucker ass out the frame. And well, when the flight landed, they arrested the chicken swarmer man or whatever his fucking name is. But wouldn't you know, the media goes with the narrative that Keanu was harassing the chicken swarmer man. Keanu has since posted videos from other people who were on the flight. 2 white women videotaped from their view what happened. The video I seen, Keanu was hitting that motherfucker where it hurts. So that's about all I saw. But now Keanu has other footage from other places himself and other people showing what a man who they arrested and charged was fucking with him. So I hope Keanu get him a lawyer and sue ABC, NBC, CBS, Disney, Netflix, Hulu, and anybody else who posts a video out of context. Good luck to you, Keanu. And on behalf of Black America, Uncle Darren, proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Keanu Evans. I caught chills just thinking about it. Y'all see the goosebumps I got? Sir, I don't know what he said to you, but you whooped his ass. And I want to reach out to you because I want to know, what did that Cuban man say to you to make you call the ancestors on his... Sir, it wasn't a seat or a person could take him off that man. Let me tell you something. When they detached Mr. Keanu from him, that man looked like he had been in one of those fights on the cartoon, you know, where motherfuckers start fighting, then a ball of smoke start happening, and anybody who get near that ball of smoke get drugged. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. I don't know what you said, but I know you said something to piss that man off, and I know how y'all do shit. You did something wrong. Gotta stand on business. Gotta stand on. I know he said something he was supposed to. Ain't nobody just around here whooping folks' ass on an airplane. Understand, TSA, man, you would go to jail quick in TSA. Man, ain't nobody whooping nobody ass on no flight. Who wanna be motherfucking delayed? Come on, man, y'all. Come on now, ABC News. Y'all need to do better than that, y'all bigot ass people.
Bro 100% deserved to get tore the fuck up on that plane. I don't care what nobody say. That dude was not wrong for turning around and beating that ass. Like, what? Hey, what's up, y'all? So if y'all haven't seen the video of that dude getting beat up on the plane by Keanu Evans, just know it wasn't Keanu's fault. It wasn't Brett's fault. It wasn't Brett's fault. He was behind him popping it. He was behind him popping it. We're on a plane. We're about to go to our next destination. We all don't want to be on the no-fly list. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. I don't want to be. But you sitting here popping it. You threatening me, bruh? You threatening me, bruh? We're in the sky, and you're behind me. I don't know what you're going to do. Mac. Yeah, Mac. And then when he got up, what was he? Bloody, leaking. Yeah, now you're on the no-fly list, leaking. But you ain't never getting back on this plane ever again, and you got beat up. You deserved it. You deserved it. Keanu not wrong. He not wrong. Anybody say he wrong? Please. And he better not be on the no-fly list. Swear to God.
For you to get beat up in midair is crazy as hell. I bet you won't grab nobody else's neck again.
I don't know what he was thinking, but he found out.
There was a fight between 2 men on a Frontier Airlines flight from Philadelphia to Miami. One of the men being described as Indian. I'm not sure if he's from India, but his name is Ishan. He's 21. He's from Newark. He grabbed a fellow passenger by the throat, and then this happened to him. I watched a few of the videos that had started recording once the altercation had already begun. It doesn't show how the altercation started. It only shows like the middle of it. And then the 21-year-old Ishan being led away in handcuffs by the police. And there are a bunch of news outlets reporting that The man who, I guess I want to say, won the fight, Keanu, was the aggressor, but he was not. Allegedly, the 21-year-old Indian man, Ishan, grabbed Keanu by the throat first, and that's how the physical altercation started. So really, I just came here to say the black man didn't start the violent altercation on the Frontier Airlines flight from Philadelphia to Miami.
I would like to take the time to clarify a few things. I'm getting many comments like the one above of people saying that I provoked that man during the flight. First thing first, Good Morning America, ABC News, they have the narrative wrong. That's not the truth. They didn't take the time to ask any witnesses who were close by and actually witnessed the real thing, what happened. They interviewed the two girls who were at the front of the flight who videotaped what happened from a distance, whose video went viral. They interviewed them. They didn't even see what happened. All they saw was the aftermath. They seen and heard commotion going on in the back, and then they start recording their phone after we're fighting. And you guys want to go with that narrative? I've been getting a lot of hate speech. I've been getting a lot of negative comments, but I'm also getting an overwhelming amount of support. And for everybody who does support and is taking the time to go down the rabbit hole and find the truth, thank you. ABC, Good Morning America, I wish you guys would reach out and actually get the true story. There's plenty of witnesses who were around. I would like to take the time to clarify a few things. I'm getting many comments like the one above of people saying that I provoked that man during the flight. First thing first, Good Morning America, ABC News, they have the narrative wrong. That's not the truth. They didn't take the time to ask any witnesses who were close by and actually witnessed the real thing, what happened. They interviewed the two girls who were at the front of the flight who videotaped what happened from a distance, whose video went viral. They interviewed them. They didn't even see what happened. All they saw was the aftermath. They seen and heard commotion going on in the back, and then they start recording their phone after we're fighting. And you guys want to go with that narrative? I've been getting a lot of hate speech. I've been getting a lot of negative comments, but I'm also getting an overwhelming amount of support. And for everybody who does support and is taking the time to go down the rabbit hole and find the truth, thank you. ABC, Good Morning America, I wish you guys would reach out and actually get the true story.
India has a long and complex history of social stratification, deeply rooted in both ancient caste systems and colonial legacies. The caste system, originally based on occupational categories from ancient Hindu scriptures, eventually evolved into a rigid birth-based hierarchy. At the top were the Brahmins, priests, followed by Kshatriyas, warriors, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, laborers. Below all of these were the Dalits, formerly known as untouchables, who were seen as impure and often lived lives of discrimination, exclusion, and abuse. This caste hierarchy was reinforced over centuries and eventually merged with colorism, the belief that lighter skin is more desirable and superior than darker skin. While ancient Indian texts don't always tie skin color directly to worth, over time and especially after British colonization, this shifted dramatically. The British colonial rule from the 1700s to the mid-1900s played a major role in embedding colorism deeper into Indian society. The British reinforced a social structure that valued whiteness, associating it with wealth, power, and beauty. This colonial ideology further cemented the already existing bias toward fairer skin. Even after independence, this mental colonization persisted. To this day, many Indians still associate fair skin with success, cleanliness, and status. The skin lightening industry in India is massive, worth over $500 million a year. Products like Fair and Lovely, recently rebranded as Glow and Lovely, are widely advertised and used by both women and men. Bollywood actors, celebrities, and politicians often have lighter complexions or are digitally lightened in media, which reinforces the message that darker skin is inferior. This deep-rooted self-hate tied to skin tone is both internalized and externalized, and it doesn't stay within India's borders. The city people, also known as Habshi or Shidi, are of African descent, primarily from East Africa. They were brought to India centuries ago, starting in the 7th century, through trade, and later by the Portuguese, Arabs, and others as slaves, soldiers, and servants. Today, the city lived mostly in Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and parts of Goa. Despite being Indian citizens and having lived in the country for generations, they are often discriminated against for their African features and darker skin. Many Siddhis live in poverty and are marginalized in housing, employment, and education. They're rarely seen in Indian media, and when they are, it's often in stereotypical or demeaning portrayals. City youth often face bullying and are reminded that they don't look Indian, reflecting how deep colorism and anti-blackness run, even among non-white populations. Many members of the Indian diaspora carry these colorist and anti-black attitudes with them when they migrate to places like the United States, the UK, the Caribbean, East Africa, and the Middle East. In many black majority or diverse countries, some Indian immigrants have been documented looking down on darker-skinned people, avoiding black neighborhoods, or even protesting against solidarity movements. They sometimes distance themselves from black people, despite both groups facing racism in the broader society. In South Africa, some Indian communities have had historic tensions with black South Africans, stemming from both colonial-era separations and modern economic competition. In the United States, you can often find Indian families who prohibit their children from marrying black people based on racist stereotypes. Even in pop culture, there are Indian movies and TV shows that still use dark-skinned people as comic relief or as villains, while casting fair-skinned actors for hero roles, even when those characters are meant to portray darker-skinned ethnic groups. Colorism in India is not just about preference, it's about internalized white supremacy. It is a form of self-hate rooted in a belief that proximity to whiteness equals value. Many Indians will use bleaching creams, avoid the sun, or even undergo cosmetic treatments to appear lighter. Marriage ads frequently request fair-skinned brides. Families often praise lighter-skinned babies while ignoring or even mocking the darker-skinned ones. This form of internalized racism causes long-term psychological damage, especially for young girls, who grow up feeling less beautiful and less worthy simply because of their skin color. It also creates division among Indian communities, between North and South, and among caste lines, often furthering segregation and inequality. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.